Question everything, trust nothing, except for your smart contracts. It's your boy Keeper. This is the first time I've been live in months, guys. Super excited to be here. I've got somebody backstage I'm going to pull up in just a minute. I don't know. I've been doing lots and lots of research in the background and trying to figure out where to best park my money. And this is somebody that I've had on the show before. Really enjoyed having him on, done business with him, all of these great things. But I continued to, let people know I've been such an ETH bull for so long, yet I also want to have access to my money when my ETH is just sitting there and I don't always feel comfortable staking a bunch of it. There's just all of these different intricacies, but I'm excited about what I'm able to do with Valinity. I'm going to bring up Sergio here in just a second. We're going to dive right into it. First of all, before I do that though, the markets are green today, but we all saw a huge dump the other day. Well, I call it a huge dump. If you've been in crypto for any amount of time, it was not like a huge dump, but I think ETH had a pretty quick 20% drop. I mean, it happened pretty quickly. So we're going to talk about kind of some of the solutions that can come along with Valinity in the ecosystem, in the Ethereum ecosystem, with this in mind as well, because the reality is so many people get freaked out, don't know what to do with their money, and then they just panic and they end up either selling or they don't have access to funds when they need them. So there's all these different things that we're going to get into. So no more blabbing. Sergio, CEO of Valinity, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Happy to be here again. How are you?
Glad that you're here, bro. I'm just getting back into the vibe of streaming. We've got Trading Wars starting next week. I'm excited to have you on though. You came on a while ago. I think it was like me, you, and Zombie. Was that right?
Yes, we had we did a presentation of Valinity to Zombie a couple of months ago, 8 months ago.
Yeah, that was man, that probably was that long. That might have even been longer. I don't know. Yeah, that was a while ago for sure. Well, I'm excited about what you are doing. I was just down in Colombia. For those of you that don't know, there's probably, I went down and got my teeth done down in Colombia and did some business while I was down there. And I linked up with you, Sergio, and you had a bunch of exciting stuff to talk to me about. Here's what I want to start off with, because a lot of people, it's a smaller ecosystem that I think is going to grow just dramatically, and I think it's going to happen quick once people catch on.
Yes.
And so I just want you to give me the kindergarten version. What's Valinity? Why the heck do I want to hold this thing? Just kind of an easy breakdown for me.
All right, I think about it the best way for people to understand it is what has been the best strategy for everyone in crypto. Let's say Salvador, MicroStrategy, the biggest Bitcoin holders, has been dollar cost averaging.
Yeah,
that's the key constant performance strategy that all these huge companies that now BlackRock is doing, MicroStrategy has been doing. They're not going to stop what Salvador has been doing. And when you talk to the biggest Bitcoin holders, Zombie, they do dollar cost averaging. Cost averaging is into Bitcoin, right? What is Valinity? Valinity is a decentralized ecosystem that with every single transaction within the ecosystem is just dollar cost averaging into the assets that we believe in, right? Interest from loans is used to dollar cost average into the assets that we believe in. Transaction fees is used to dollar cost average in the ecosystems that we believe in. Capital that comes into the ecosystem is used to dollar cost average into the ecosystems or the assets that we believe in, right? So it's a decentralized community portfolio that is continuously getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Continuing to pump into itself, right? Exactly. So when transaction fees happen, boom, we're putting it right back into our own ecosystem, right?
Yes, it's just that instead of that 2% fee or that interest fee that's charged by other platforms, other loaning platforms, let's say Nexo, let's say Binance itself, CoinRabbit, that interest or those transaction fees are going to the corporate profit, or banks, that all those fees that you're paying in the banks are going to corporate profit. Here, all those fees that you're paying with interest and transaction fees or interest is just continuously acquiring more of the assets that we believe in for our community. So each token is just continuously being backed by more and more and more ETH. So for example, right now, a lot of people is like, okay, the best strategy is to dollar cost average into Bitcoin, right? That's the safest strategy. But Bitcoin is so high right now, right? So you have to put in so much money continuously. But if you just hold Valinity, it's going to dollar cost average with the money of all the ecosystem, with the interest and transaction fees of all the ecosystem into each coin.
All
So
working together.
see that each coin of yours is continuously being backed by more and more Bitcoin or more and more Ethereum. Not only your capital, but also of the whole ecosystem. So that's how you cannot kind of understand is a decentralized portfolio that's just continuously acquiring the assets that we believe in.
Pumping into itself. I like it. I want to tell everybody too, this is not a sponsored video. I'm not being paid by Valinity to be on here. I really want, I've seen other, content creators over time really latch a hold of something that they really like, that they love, that they believe in. And this is one that it took me a little bit of time on the front end to kind of better understand it. But once I truly understood what was happening here, I was like, you know what? Like, I want to be involved in this on the front end. Not just because candidly, everybody wants to pump their bags if they can, right? So you want to be in at as best price as possible. So that's definitely part of it. But at the same time, I want other people to be able to experience some of the stuff that I've experienced with this. Let me start with this, Sergio, because I don't want to kill people with just like diving into the weeds with things. One of the things for me that I've always talked about is that I hate the fact that I have to park my money and then I just don't have access to it, right? And if I do have access to it, let's say by taking a loan on one of the various platforms that allow me to take loans, I have a very real risk of liquidation. Yes. Right? Like all of a sudden I could wake up, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, something happens over in China or this, that, or the third. I wake up and I'm like, where's my money? Where did it go? And you got liquidated, right? So one of the things that I loved about Valinity, I guess I just want to really just a simple explanation on it. How the heck am I able to access and have, because I've done this, I'm able to have access to my, so I buy the Valinity. Walk me through that process where how I actually have access to now use capital elsewhere, but I'm still holding the Valinity token. That's what really, for most people, if they can grasp that, they could, I think, really start to be like, okay, I can get on board with this.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to share screen and I'm going to answer your question. So right now in the Valinity ecosystem, we've been able to acquire 1,449 Ethereums within our reserve, right? Okay. That Ethereum is divided by all coins in circulation equally, right? So right now, each Valinity has access to 0.000118 Ethereums, right? The great thing about this is what you spoke about. Valinity is the first and only loaning ecosystem that is going to be able to loan you capital without due dates or margin calls or risk of liquidation. Because what you're accessing as a loan, when you collateralize your tokens and you're accessing this amount of Ethereum, you're actually just accessing the backing of your tokens, the portion of this decentralized portfolio that's yours, right? So there's no moment in time that there's like a liquidation because it's not a third party that's loaning you USDT for your Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin goes down, they have to liquidate your Bitcoin to ensure their USDT. Right. That's how liquidations work. Here, there is no moment in time that happens because you're just accessing your own assets that's backing your token, right? So you collateralize it. So the first thing is that you're able to access capital, still holding Ethereum, right? Access capital, put it into other assets or real world necessities that you need. But at the same time, you don't have to worry about margin calls, due dates. And on top of that, the interest that you're paying is not going to corporate profit. The interest that you're paying is going to acquiring more assets to keep backing our tokens. So you're basically just paying interest to your own bank, right?
Paying it into your, basically paying it back to yourself effectively.
Exactly. This is what DeFi was truly meant to be. DeFi was truly meant to be a decentralized financial ecosystem that we all benefit equally. We all benefit equally from the transaction fees. We all benefit equally from the interest generated. We all benefit equally from the capital that comes into, because it all just acquires more assets to keep back in our tokens.
But so many people use DeFi as like this buzzword. And I've noticed that over the years, they just use it as like, oh yeah, we're this decentralized ecosystem, and they throw it around as just this thing because they know people in crypto want to hear it.
Yes.
But what I have realized since being in the Valinity ecosystem is that it truly is that, and it truly does give me access to my capital. It truly does give me access to be able to basically have my cake and eat it too. I think I said that on my last video, which is one of the beautiful things about it. And I think that one of the things that I love too is this has been around for like 5 years, right?
Yes.
So it stood the test of time, right? It definitely needs some help getting pushed out there in terms of more people really recognizing what it is, how do I utilize this, things of that nature. But the reality is this has got a CertiK audit. So for anybody watching, guys, I mean, I don't even want to know, Sergio. I'd probably spend a damn $1 million just auditing this thing. I mean, just absolute insane amount of money trying to get this audit, because it's really hard to get a CertiK audit. You've got a if I could speak, that would be fantastic. You are oh my gosh, the process is you've got it patented. There we go. Yeah. The process that's happening effectively is patented, and it's created some buzz and some eyes from some really big players in the game that really want to be able to interact with you and really like what you're doing. So tell me about that process, or about what's going on there, because I think that's really freaking important. There's a reason, if like big banks are looking at what you're doing, there's a reason for it, right?
So on the institutional level, we've been pretty good. Like we've been able to open doors with huge institutions like CertTech, like Paxos. I'm pretty sure that the market knows how big they are. But all that comes into the first topic you talked about, which is decentralization, DeFi. That there's not really a true decentralized ecosystem out there for DeFi. There's some like Aave is one of the few, but other ones, they say DeFi very loosely, just like you do, but they're not really decentralized finance, and they create problems like Luna had and all these other issues, right? But I want to show, if I can share my screen, I want to show why this is truly DeFi. This is truly decentralized finance. The reason for that is because there's no third party involved, and the whole ecosystem is based off 3 smart contracts, right? So I recommend everyone to come to our website, watch this video. I respond to most frequently asked questions, and I talk about how the ecosystem works in detail there. But I'm just going to talk about it really quickly, because that is the reason that big companies are opening the doors for us. So the ecosystem works upon these 3 smart contracts. You have one, which is the Valinity Acquisition Treasury. This is the smart contract that acquires the assets for us. So when Valinity gets to a certain price point, it sells Valinity. With that liquidity, it acquires the assets that we desire, Ethereum, Bitcoin Gold, or any other asset, could be XRP, Cardano, etc. And then they put it into our reserve, right? So this is the smart contract that holds all of the reserve assets that we believe in. This is basically the Valinity decentralized portfolio of our community, right? And the only way to access these assets is through collateralized loans, locking your Valinity in the collateral treasury. Then you get access to the assets from the reserve. And then from there, the interest is charged in Valinity and sent back to the Valinity Acquisition Treasury, just to keep doing the whole process. So when you see it, it's just a circle of reinvestment, that every single time that acquires assets, the Valinity Acquisition Treasury, it locks it into our reserve. Users can access these reserves through loans, collateralizing their tokens. And then from here, interest is charged with transaction fees to be sent back to the Valinity Acquisition Treasury to go and acquire more assets. So it's a continuous circle of reinvestment that is continuously backing our token with more and more and more assets, 100% based on these 3 smart contracts that have been audited and locked. They cannot be changed, they cannot be removed, and they do exactly the process that we explained. That is the true gold. That is the true goal of Valinity. Because what is the true goal of Bitcoin and Ethereum? Is transparency and decentralization. Bitcoin sooner or later is going to get to $1 million, to $10 million, $15 million. It's not going to stop growing because of the same basis of decentralization and transparency, and the limit supply is going to give it continuous growth. Ethereum is going to continuously grow because it's a decentralized server where you can create applications that are transparent and decentralized, like Valinity. That's that gives the true value to Ethereum. Now, Valinity is the use of that decentralized server to create a true decentralized financial platform for all the users involved to benefit it from it equally. Now, thanks to that, we've been taking, like you said, 5 years to develop this ecosystem. We've been developed by one of the best developing teams out there, Iterate. They're the main developers for Hedera Hashgraph. They're also the main developers for Paxos. And we wanted to go with the best of the best because we knew the goal that we had. After we got built, we got patented. So everyone go to our website. They can click and they can see our patent. It's already a US based patent. We're already going for the world patent. And also Iterate opened the doors for us for Paxos. For those people that don't know who Paxos is a huge Web3 institution, right? They are the ones that created back in the day, if you remember, BUSD. They created PayPal USD, PaxG, which is a huge token backed by gold. And we're going to use that into our ecosystem. And basically, Paxos, the reason that we are such a good relationship with them is that we're going to use their token PaxG to back our asset with gold. So now our ecosystem is going to be diversified. Our portfolio, our decentralized portfolio of our community is going to be diversified into Ethereum, Bitcoin, and gold. A lot of people are like, how are you guys going to hold gold? We're going to hold it through here, through PaxG.
Because they've got a vault over in London, right?
Yes, they have a huge vault in London. The great thing about Paxos is that it's a completely audited, verified third party, right? That they are audited by the New York State Department of Financial Services, London, Abu Dhabi, that they actually hold the gold to back the PaxG, and they actually hold the USD equivalents to back their PayPal USD, USDG, USDL, USDP, and they hold it also the equivalents for BUSD before they got the peg.
Which is really important because there's so many, things thrown around in the crypto space where we're backing this, or we have this backing, or whatever, and it's not actually there. I know with PaxG, there's a reason that they are in, it's probably a bad way to say it, but in bed with PayPal and all of these other different massive, institutions that are doing business with them, because they are the real deal. They are actually holding that backing. So what you're saying though, Sergio, is that, all right, so right now it's Ethereum. So if I wanted to hold Ethereum, still have access to it, no risk of liquidation, I want to be able to use it. And at the same time, my Valinity is going to continue to outpace Ethereum, right, on a regular basis. So effectively, instead of just holding the Ethereum, I could hold Valinity. I could have access to a portion of that money. What's that? What's that portion? So how does somebody know what that number is?
That portion is 100% of the amount of Ethereum that's token. Is very simple. You divide the amount of Ethereum that you're able to access at any time as a collateral loan. And this amount of Ethereum, we can look at it as your credit line. It's always continuously growing, right? It's always continuously growing because the ecosystem. So it's continuously growing through interest transaction fees. I actually have here a little snippet of when we did our video with Zombie 8 months ago. And you can see that in that time in the ecosystem, there was 1,200. Right now, there's 1,450. So we grew over like 250 Ethereums into our ecosystem. And you can see the amount of Ethereum that's backing each coin at that time was 0.0001, right? Now it's 0.00118. We've grown around approximately 20% in that amount of Ethereum that you can access, right, as a collateral loan. So
Wow.
you can access 100% of this Ethereum at any given time, right? So what does that depend on the price that you bought the token? So right now we're sitting around 48 cents. So 48 cents, you're able to get 33. You're approximately be able to get like 70% of your loan. If the price goes down, right, you're able to get even more percentage, which is the great thing about Valinity, that here, this LTV or this amount of Ethereum that you can get as a loan, it also works as a floor price.
Floor.
It's an actual hard bottom floor that you can actually measure, because you can see that that's the amount of Ethereum you can access at any time as a loan, right? And you know that the market can't go under that, right? That's the amount of liquidity that you can access anytime without having to sell. So the closer Valinity is dropping, the more that Valinity is dropping in price, the closer it is to this LTV, right? So you can actually manage your risk much better instead of just going to the graphs and doing all these predictions and all these things that it's not 100% accurate. Here you have a 100% accurate floor that, as you can see, has always continuously grown to the upside.
Yeah, that's super cool. And then as you add more and more assets to that, I know there's some strategies, and this is something that people can, if people want to get involved in the ecosystem, they can dive in, hold a certain number, and I know this will change, but they can hold some Valinity, a certain amount of Valinity right now, and they can actually have a one-on-one meeting with you to really kind of dive into this deeper and look at some strategies. I know there's some cool strategies that are out there that you and I have talked about. I don't want to give away everything all at once, but because we're going to be talking about Valinity a lot coming up. So I like the fact that you're making yourself accessible to people. Because I do think that there are some intricacies here that where people need to be able to figure out really, okay, if I'm going to take my Ethereum and I'm going to park it in Valinity and have that access and really trust this smart contract, I need to understand it better. And I get that from people, right? Because it's almost, I know when Crow was talking about it, I know Crow and I were talking, and I know you had this conversation with him, and he was like, bro, if this is, I forget exactly how he said it, but he effectively said, if this is real, this is like the cheat code for crypto or something to that nature. Like this is the best thing out there.
It's the next big thing. And then it's really, if you look into the whole crypto space, right? The whole crypto space, you had first Bitcoin that brought decentralization, transparency. You had Ethereum that brought the decentralized server, but there's not really something that goes after that. Everything that's out there, it's either a copy of Bitcoin or Ethereum or an improvement of Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? So this is like the use of that decentralized server to create that DeFi space. And this is the same thing that I heard everywhere. Like the biggest problem about Valinity, it sounds too good to be true. It sounds too good to be true in a moment where the whole space has been hurt with so many scams, with so many problems, right? But that's a good problem to have, right? Those people that actually dive into it, look into the math. The math is very simple, right? So here I want to show this formula again, because this what gives the simplicity of the whole ecosystem. More assets into the ecosystem, and all the interest transaction fees burn coins. So it's a deflationary ecosystem equals more asset per token. So more assets, less tokens equals more asset per token. And you're going to see that grow continuously, right? Every time interest is being paid, transaction fees is burning coins. Every time capital comes into the ecosystem, it acquires more assets. So it's a very simple idea. More assets, less coin, you have more asset per coin. And now you base it on 3 smart contracts. Now you make it being developed by one of the best companies in the world, audited by the #1 auditing company in the world, which you can go to CoinMarketCap. You can see who audits XRP, Certec, who audits USDT, Certec, who audits Binance, Certec, audited by the best company in the world. And now we're in talks with the biggest institution in the world, which is Paxos, and we're going to use their assets to back our tokens with more stable products like gold. So for example, let's talk about what happened a day ago when Ethereum dumped like crazy, right?
And ultimately, yeah, like everybody's freaking out, or a lot of people are freaking out, especially newer people to the ecosystem. Your response when I was talking about, hey, you know, this big dump was something to the effect of, well, this is just another reason why you would hold Valinity and an opportunity for you to help yourself in this instance. So talk to me about that. Yeah.
So yes, Valinity is going to be now backed by different assets, which is Ethereum, Bitcoin, and gold. In the times of volatile time to the downwards, when Ethereum and Bitcoin are dropping, I want to show this graph here. This is the PAX G against Ethereum. This is the gold token from PAX against Ethereum. We can see that in the last month, it went up like 45%, right? In that time, when the whole market is very in panic because everything is going down, the Validity holders are going to be much more in a calm state because we have that gold that's going to sustain our growth in bear markets. But at the same time, we have Ethereum and Bitcoin that is going to boost our growth in bull markets. So it doesn't matter the situation in the markets, you're going to have consistently growth, either bear market, bull market. You don't have to be worrying about, oh, it's going down or it's going up. You know that Valinity is being backed and being diversed by those three assets, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and gold. So in moments like yesterday, when Ethereum dropped so much against gold, Valinity would have still kept on growing to the upside. And also there's this unique things that are happening. I don't want to talk to it too much because it's just giving too much information. Yeah. But for example, in Valinity, you're able to get loans in Ethereum, right? So you get this amount of loans in Ethereum. And this is the loans that you owe to the ecosystem, right? That you locked your Valinity at. But in moments like yesterday, when Ethereum drops a lot, what does that mean? That your loan value is much less. You owe much less to the ecosystem because the amount of it dropped. And you're able to now pay back that debt at a lower rate and go and take a loan in gold and even access more liquidity.
Because it's all based off of the off of Ethereum at that point, right? So when it dumps, it's like, hey, I have an opportunity here on the loan side of things.
Exactly. So that's the great thing about Valinity, because Valinity gives you the opportunity. If it's going up, great, because Valinity is going up, right? But if it's going down, even better, because your loans, what you owe to the ecosystem, is at a lower rate, right? So people are able to use, not to give all the strategies out, but I want to give one quick strategy, which is that people are loving, is that is the best way to get in and out of the market with Valinity. Let me tell you how. Let's say you buy Valinity right now. You know that's the amount of Ethereum you can get as a loan, right? Ethereum starts pumping, right, where I believe it's going to do in the next couple months, and it starts pumping. No one knows where the top is. It's impossible, right? Even the best analysts cannot put it. It's impossible.
Yeah.
But you know when it's getting pretty high, you did a 2x or 3x. Okay, it's time to take some profits. How do you take profits? You take that loan in Ethereum and you convert it into a USDT and you made huge profits, right? You got that out. But you still hold the Valinity token as a collateral. So if Ethereum keeps on pumping to the upside, you're still benefiting because you still hold that Valinity that's still growing in value. But if Ethereum starts dropping down, now your value of your loan, of your debt, is much less. So you're able to now buy back in at Ethereum at a lower rate, wait for it go up, take that loan, take cash, wait for it go down, pay back that loan, and you can just do that, no risk, right? Because you're not doing leverage, you're not doing leverage trading, you're not doing any of these margin cost possibilities, but you're being able to take liquidity, being able to get in at the best point in Ethereum, able to take out at the best point in Ethereum, still holding that token, Valinity token that's continuously growing in price. Right.
Yeah. So since we kind of know that floor, we can always pay attention to that, right? And figure out, okay, is this a good time to be buying? Is this a good time to be selling? Is this a good time to be taking loans? Like, effectively, right? You can kind of pay attention.
It gives you straight structure for you to analyze where you want to get into the ecosystem and take advantage and be able to take profits from your assets like Ethereum, Bitcoin, and not be worried about the next dump when it's going to happen. Right.
Yeah. That's super cool, dude. I'm excited to do and dive into more that you have going on, that we have going on in the Valinity ecosystem. Definitely, if people are trying to look to figure out where they can check this out, it's valinity.io. If you didn't already catch that, I've got the link down below the video as well. If you do hold, what do they need to hold, Sergio, if they want to have a call with you? Is it like 20,000? Am I close on that?
No, it's much smaller. I think you can go to our website and
Okay,
there is
it's on there.
here. Yeah. So I'm gonna share screen. You go to our website, you click here. This
Okay.
is a WhatsApp link that gives you
Okay.
direct access to our team, and it's
Okay.
gonna give you answer all the questions you have. And if you want to book a call directly with me, you just gotta hold a small portion. I think right now, I think it's 2,000.
2,000. Okay, I knew there was a 2 in there.
Yes, it's like 2,000 V, which is not that much, around like 500
Yeah.
bucks. In V, and then you can answer. I can come in a call, answer all your questions. And that meanwhile, the ecosystem is growing. That's going to get a little bit higher and higher. That way, I
Yeah.
give the priority to the people that are more invested into the ecosystem.
Right.
But then, yeah, you can answer all the questions there, and we have a lot of videos explanation on how the ecosystem work. Also, our application is already able to be downloaded in the app and Google Play. This is 100% decentralized non-custodial wallet. And this non-custodial wallet, it connects you directly to Uniswap, so you can buy and sell, and it connects you to our ecosystem, so you can take loans as well. So this is like the best way to have a user-friendly into the ecosystem, so people can see like this has been something that's been structured very good. A lot of capital and energy and time has been invested into this to make sure that we have the best developing team, the best auditing team, patent tokenomics. Now working with Paxos, the biggest decentralized institution in Web3. And now we have our application. When you download it, you see all the work that we put into that as well.
Yeah, that's super cool, man. I'm excited to see you continue to grow. I'm excited for myself. I'm excited for other people. So you guys, listen, it's really simple too. If you go to valinity.io, you can jump on there. There's literally a video that takes you step by step. It's like 2 minutes long of how to buy, how to sell, like basically just the basics of what you need to be able to do. It's really, really simple. So you guys can check that out there. Sergio, anything else that I'm missing right now? I know we're going to be doing a lot more stuff coming up in the future, and probably doing some contests and having some fun with people and whatnot. Is there anything that I'm missing before we take off?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I think I would love to invite people to come and test out the ecosystem and even reach out to me. I would love to hear everyone's opinion about the ecosystem, or how we can even keep getting better, because that's the point of decentralization, of open source, is that everyone can comment, everyone can come in and put their grain of salt, so we can create the best next thing that's coming up, that we really believe that is going to be just like that, right?
And I wanted to remind everybody real quick, I'm going to pull this up again, but the little phone that's down in the corner on the website, that connects you to on WhatsApp, which, listen, ladies and gentlemen, you know this, right? Telegram has a lot of BS and scams and whatnot. And there's people creating fake platforms and fake names and doing all of this, that, and the third. The thing that I like about the WhatsApp there is that literally it connects you directly with the team, and you're able to ask questions. You're able to figure out, like, it's very simple, very straightforward, and you don't have the worries that you have that's on Telegram, which is people trying to,
Yeah, it's great you pointed that out. So meanwhile, we've been growing. We've been able to see all these little issues with scams, and especially on Telegram. Unfortunately, a lot of our holders are newcomers to crypto, and these scammers take advantage of that, make them click on links, give them the 12 passwords, and they've been able to clean out. So it's been good because we've been able to see the problems and attack it, and so we're moving away from Telegram. We created a WhatsApp that is directly to us. When you click on that, it can give you directly access to us, and you can speak freely, of course. The point of it is try to solve the issues that we see right now, right, with the scams that are out there. So yeah.
Well, dude, thank you very much for coming on. I'm sure I will have you on again soon. Really looking forward to it. Hope you have a wonderful day, guys. Valinity.io if you're looking to figure out something to do with your Ethereum and you can still access it and not have worries of getting liquidated. This solves a lot of problems for me, and I know it can solve a lot of problems for other people. So Valinity.io, check it out. Sergio, hope you have a wonderful day, sir. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Thank you for having me.
All right, crypto fam. So that was Sergio from Valinity. He's been on before. Will definitely be on again. I'm going to do some more kind of diving into this project. And again, none of this isn't paid content. This is something that as I've done more and more research, I've realized like this solves a lot of real world problems that I want to be a part of. I want to have access to all of the Ethereum that I have sitting there. I want to be able to then possibly, maybe I want to play around with some meme coins. Maybe I want to, excuse me, maybe I want to just have access to it for maybe I want to put stuff over into stables. Like there's all different types of options of what I could do. But when I'm just stuck sitting with Ethereum and I'm just at the mercy of ETH and that's it, that's where I'm stuck. And so I like Valinity for that purpose, that I can access that money and still be able to hold the token that can continue to grow. It's just a great solution, and I love it. And there's a reason that's patented. So I'm super excited to see what happens moving forward with that. Crypto fam, last thing, we are starting Trading Wars back up. So I'm super excited. This is not the finalized list, but I'm going to get, so there's a few of you on here. So just the few that are on here, probably Patriot Caveman and a couple other people. I'm going to give you a little little sneak peek here. Looks like Crusader, Jenna X, Geo, Tradefly, Bullish Trader, Evan Aldo, Bill Noble, maybe, CryptoFace. We're going to have a great season coming up. It's supposed to start next Monday. I'm waiting for some confirmation from the exchange on that. But Trading Wars is going to be starting back up. You're going to be seeing lots of content on Valinity. If you guys haven't been following me over on TikTok, there's always stuff going on over there. But I'm going to fire back up the YouTube. We're going to be doing shorts. We're going to be doing longer form content. We're going to be doing interviews. We're going to be doing just a lot of crypto focused content. I'm really excited about the future of what's going to be happening here on the channel, and Valinity is going to be a big part of that. So I love you guys. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Question everything, trust nothing.